Welcome to the Built to Win podcast, a show about entrepreneurs, their processes, their procedures, and how they built their dreams into reality. Today, we have the Philippine Basketball Association's second all-time winningest player, serial entrepreneur, investor, and super dad and husband, Joe Devance. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Sir.
Appreciate you inviting me, man.
Appreciate you coming in. Yo, so let's get into it. I typically start this off really getting an understanding how the entrepreneur's journey began. And so if we're going to start from your beginning, let's go all the way back. Where you from?
All right, so I guess it's a little tricky, but I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, but my mom and my stepfather moved. He was in the military. Moved from Hawaii to El Paso, Texas, and that's where I pretty much lived from half of my life. The other half was in the Philippines. So I kind of say Hawaii, kind of say El Paso. I actually put Hawaii in there just to be cool, but I'm really from El Paso, Texas. Just born in Hawaii, so.
All right, good stuff. So let's start at El Paso. I know when I think of El Paso, call me crazy, I think about the New York City. I think about those commercials. The El Paso.
The tumbleweeds and all that kind of stuff
El Paso,
going. Yeah,
just like cowboys and like.
I've never seen a tumbleweed in my life, man.
Okay,
So I don't even. Yeah, it's not even. It is a lot of desert though, but it's not as cowboyish as people kind of perceive it to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's funny.
So we now at El Paso without the tumbleweed. How's the beginning? How's the beginning of your journey? Your parents, your mom, stepdad, I would assume he's like your dad.
Mm-hmm.
How did they raise you, and how did you make your journey? How did it start?
All right, so my dad was military, Army. He was one of those old school fathers. You know the old school fathers. You catch the beatings, and one of the old. He's from Virginia too, so he was
from the South.
Yes, he was very, very, very tough on me. My mom from the Philippines, born and raised in the Philippines. She moved to Hawaii when she was in her 20s and stuff like that. So I moved to different places. So again, I was born in Hawaii. I moved to Kentucky for a few years, and then we ended up settling in El Paso, Texas. And it's pretty chill. It's not much going on. We don't really have a professional team. It's just the college that I went to, University of Texas, El Paso. That's there. UTEP, yeah. They made a movie about us, Glory Road. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but it was about the 1966 national championship team, all black starting five versus Kentucky all white. So
who was on that squad?
Oh shoot, David Lattimore. Oh man, you put Cager. I know Cager. I grew up with the Cagers. They're his sons, his boys. Yeah, we're around the same age. Grew up with them, man. So they're legends in El Paso. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I grew up in a strict household. We weren't poor, but we weren't,
well off.
Yeah, so, but for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, I just always had that drive to want more. I would always, this is a crazy story with me and my wife, but I would always drive around the city to like nice neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And I mean, probably nowadays something bad might happen to me, right? But back then it wasn't like that, right? So I would always drive around where all the big houses were because it always gave me inspiration. It always gave me inspiration, you know? And it was something that kind of stuck with me because I even took that same mindset to the Philippines. I'm driving around the nice, beautiful neighborhood. I mean, out there they have crazy, like beautiful mansions, crazy houses, and I mean, I'm driving around the neighborhood because some of my friends and my partners have that type of money out there, and I'm like, man, what if one day, and to go back to El Paso, um, I would drive around this one neighborhood in El Paso, and it's crazy to me because uh, I ended up I didn't know this at the time, of course, but it ended up being my wife's neighborhood, and it was just it. My whole life has almost been manifested. Like I really believe the power in words and mindset and your thoughts and stuff. So, I mean, I've actually lived this manifestation. Like every place that I go to, that I dream about, I mean, I don't want to say I, I guess I overthink. I mean, I'm constantly thinking like, how can I get better? What can I get more of? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, it's worked up. I mean, all the way up until now. Um, so again, like just me manifesting certain things back in El Paso. I mean, I made it. I made it here to speak in front of you, Brian. And I've just had a wonderful journey, wonderful journey.
All right. Well, let's start your journey. You started in Hawaii, made it to Kentucky, then to El Paso. Let's jump into high school. We're a high school hooper.
Yep.
What's going on in high school?
So high
Joe
school,
Devance.
yeah, shoot, man, I was the best in the city at that time. I mean, it's El Paso. It's still it's a big city, but small in terms of athletes that actually come out of El Paso and do big things. And I went to a school named Burgess High School. I'm still close, like really, really close with my high school coach. He was really the first like true coach that believed in me, that saw something. That he just saw something different. So I was always one of the taller ones on the team. So the thing that he saw was the fact that I was a little bit taller, but I could dribble. I like to play outside, but mix it in on inside and stuff like that. So I had great numbers in high school.
So what'd you average?
I I think I was averaging like 30 and 18 or something like that, like something
Those will
crazy.
qualify as great numbers.
Yeah, yeah, it was and like 5 blocks. So it was I had a great high school career, but to be honest, I didn't my grades weren't really up to par.
So you were not applying yourself.
So I would, yeah, yeah. And this is one thing that I actually do regret in life is I wish I could have went back to high school and just focused more on education. I was just so locked in basketball, nothing else really mattered. I didn't go out, I didn't drink, I just played basketball. So that's one thing that I'm trying to tell my kids, by the way, like just focus on school.
Yeah.
Like don't be like your knucklehead dad. You know what I mean? And get good grades. So they're kind of learning that right now. But
Knucklehead dad.
yeah,
Knucklehead dad
yeah.
figured it out a little bit. So don't be
Yeah.
all the way like Knucklehead
Yeah,
dad.
don't be all the way like knucklehead dad. Don't go 100% knucklehead.
Exactly. All right, so we're in El Paso dominating high school basketball. How do you decide what school you want to go to, what college, if you're going to go to college? What was that process and what did it look like?
All right, so me being a hometown guy, and again, my grades weren't up to par. So at the time, I was getting a lot of junior college offers, and that was really the only thing I could have done at that moment in time. So I actually signed at a junior college in Arizona called Cochise College, and I'm not sure how it happened, but last second, University UTEP or University of Texas El Paso UTEP, they offered me a scholarship, and back I don't know what it's called now, but back then it was called Prop 48.
Yeah.
So I would basically have to just go to school, get my grades up.
You were a low qualifier.
Yeah. So I had to do that whole thing, and then the following year, I was able to play, and I was on full scholarship my whole ride. So that's what I'm really thankful for, that I was able to get an education and not have to pay for it, or for my family to not have to pay for it. So
I love
I'm
it.
pretty proud of that. But there was a transition though from high school to college. So I did well, had crazy numbers in high school, did all that. Then I go to college, and again, I'm from El Paso, right? So I go to college. These guys are just as tall, if not tall. We had a couple 7-footers on the team, big physical guys, and there wasn't that transfer thing, back then. Like, you could not transfer back then,
Yeah.
So me and the coach was kind of getting into it, and I was still kind of a knucklehead. Like, oh, the coach got something against me, and all this and all that. I had all the excuses. And for whatever reason, I didn't take basketball as serious in college, because it was kind of like, all right, I made it to college, I'm good, you know. And so in college, I went through a whole different type of journey, and I went from high school being like the main guy in high school to now going to college having a hard time. These colleges the coaches are like in your face, and it was one of those things where it was like a culture shock that just really hit me, and I wasn't getting the playing time that I was used to. I mean, all this stuff happened, right?
It's just all piling up.
Yeah, all piling up.
Hmm.
So I got through college, passed, did that whole thing, and the thing about when I was in college was this is a life lesson that I really take to heart even now. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's the 90-10 rule, or 10-90 rule, where life is about 10% of what happens to you and 90% on how you deal with it.
I like
And
that.
you know what I mean? And that was something that really, really stuck to me in college. And so from there, once I mean, it took me some time to really to have that mindset.
Hmm.
But I mean, now I'm like full on 1090 rule, like full on 1090 rule. And so then what helped me was that 1090 rule. It helped me in the next level to get to the Philippines.
Hmm.
So this how I got to the Philippines was pretty crazy too, because
So you on the show, bro? Go ahead and tell us.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
keep it a
yeah.
secret.
So all right, so I was playing, I did the college thing, and I had the same coaches, assistant coaches, and all that good
Hmm.
stuff. And I'm okay, so I'm half black, half Filipino, if you guys didn't know. And um and for whatever reason, us Filipinos here in America, we have to kind of represent our Filipino heritage and our blood and stuff. So we always hang like a Filipino flag in our car, right? So my college coach, he had no idea that I was Filipino. He thought my mom was like Hispanic, from Mexico or something,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that, right? So one day he just so happened to see the Philippine flag in my car, and then he asked if I was Filipino. I was like, yeah, my mom is, from the Philippines. And right then and there, he was like, well, have you ever thought about playing in the Philippines?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, to be honest, no, I didn't. And this was 20 years ago or something like that,
Okay.
18, 19 years ago. And right away, he was like, well, I can get you in contact with the agent. And if you want to, I can get you to go play out there right now. And it was almost by chance. He just so happened to walk by my truck and saw the Philippine flag
Yeah.
hanging, in my rearview mirror. And that's really what jump started my whole career in the Philippines. Just that right there.
All right. So
So,
so from there, let's talk about it though. You talked about manifestation, which is great. So while you're dealing with the growth that was necessary with you in college, and I think what happens when you are a high achiever at an early age or early in your journey you assume that everything is going to happen
To be that way.
just like that.
Yeah.
And so, again, this is just my assumption based on what we're talking about, is that you having to deal with that resilience, having to take those hits, having to learn from that adversity in college, helped you in your journey as you
Oh,
went on
man.
to the Philippines.
What tremendously. All of that. And again, in my whole life, the only thing I really regret is really focusing on education in high school. But all the pain, all that stuff, all the adversity that I had to overcome, I'm glad it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the beatings that I got as a kid growing up, you know, all I'm so thankful all that stuff happened because it happened for a reason. It happened to get me to the mindset of where I am today, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I'm truly thankful for is all the ups and more importantly all the downs in my life. So because growth, that I have that mindset of growth and all that, I needed all that stuff for to grow.
Bro, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing is me telling the young kids that I used to coach and my kids now is that failure is not failure. It is just learning. You're just learning forward, just learning
Yes.
forward, just
Yeah.
learning forward.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what book it was that I read it. Maybe Psycho-Cybernetics, but talking about a heat-seeking missile that it's constantly adjusting its path.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we have to do when we take L's or when we take perceived L's.
Yeah.
Is it's not quitting, it's taking it. Okay, so now what do I need to adjust with what I have done? It's really about your 90-10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do I need to do to move it forward?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. That was I think Denzel Washington said it. Fail forward. Was that
Absolutely.
Denzel? Yeah, I think
That
that
is
was
definitely,
Denzel.
yeah.
And that I mean that stuck to me. I've had a even now, when I come up with things in my head of ideas, companies, projects, something like that, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I need to start it already, and let's see where it could go. If it fails, it fails. I'll move on to the next, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And okay, so when I was in the Philippines, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but when I was in the Philippines, I started this truck company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things to where my mindset is, all right, I'm in the Philippines, but I'm not going to stay here for too long, you know. And I need to start something in the state so that we can have something to transition to. And I was so eager to get it going, just to get something going, because at the time I was trying to just buy a company. I was just trying to buy a company and then go into it and just manage it myself, you know. And with all the research that I did, I ended up starting the truck company. And it was one of those things where that was a crazy time in my life because I was still having to wake up early
Mm-hmm.
for basketball for my practice. At
Yep.
the time, I was helping a good friend of mine train at like 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Then right after that, I'm going to basketball practice. You know, I mean, I had so many things going on, and I think I even won two championships along the way in the time that I had the truck company. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm juggling all this stuff, and you know, time is totally different in the Philippines than it is here in the States. It's like 12, 13, 14-hour time difference. They're ahead, like
Yes.
14 hours, right? So there'll be times where I have like no sleep and I have to talk on the phone all night with these contractors and some of my employees that I had. I mean, it was crazy. It was so crazy, you know. But again, even though I like to put it like this, having that truck company was a very expensive learning lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to be honest, like I don't regret it at all because it was something it tested me. It made me learn something totally different than what I was used to. Like I was just a hooper. You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
a hooper, just a basketball player, and I was like, all right, I need to just jump into something, you know? And I mean, I did it, you know, it wasn't as successful as I have wanted it to have been, but I mean, it was just a great learning lesson for me. And
Yeah.
even from that, I still have that mindset of just fail forward, just keep moving, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
I mean that's what it was really, and we've all gone through that as entrepreneurs. Any successful entrepreneur that says they have not made that mistake, they have not made that investment that turns south, is not a successful entrepreneur. They're full of crap.
yeah.
But I digress. Let's go back, because we just had gotten to the point where your coach has sent you to the Philippines to play
Oh,
basketball.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
fast forward.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
so
Kind of jump.
yeah. So you just now getting an agent. You're maybe going to the Philippines. Obviously we already know you went, but what was that journey like? What happened?
All right, so I first go out there 2005. I don't know what to expect. Um, I go out there I have no idea how much money I'm gonna make, nothing. So I go there, and my agent at the time, he wasn't really taking care of me as much as I would have liked, and just kind of put me in this random neighborhood in this random house, and they had like the gardener there, right? He had a missing eye, and I'm like, man, these people are about to snatch me up. Like, man, like what? I was scared. I only had
He
like a
said, "I'm a
portable,
long ways from
man,
El
all the way,
Paso."
man, in this third world country. I didn't know what to expect. Like, I'm in this random, like, crazy looking neighborhood. I didn't know what to expect, man. And I know the gardener, he scared. He really scared. He had a missing eye, man, and then walking around with with the
Yeah,
shears and all
exactly.
that, man. So I'm like, man, these fools are about to snatch me up, and it was crazy. So, and at this time, I go out there to practice for the national team. So I go out there. I'm with the national team. I have like a little bit of per diem, and just to kind of get back and forth to practice. I'm going back, and at the time I had the portable DVD player, and I just had like
AKA a disc man.
yeah, Discman. That's all I had. You know, that's all I had. Um, and so I wasn't really. I was just going back and forth to practice, back and forth to practice. But the good thing about it was, when I was going there, all the players there, kind of welcomed me with open arms, and I met he was half black, half Filipino, half black, half Filipino from America as well, and his name's Dorian Pena, and he played basketball at Copen State, I believe, and he just had. This is what made a impact for me when I went there. Was he was one of the OGs, right? Like, he was
Exactly.
one of the old school guys that's been there, super successful. He's won championships. He started a clothing line out there, all that. And he kind of took me under his wing because, again, I didn't have any money. I had no friends out there. And he was like, just come stay
Stay
with
with
me. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for that, I might have quit, to be honest, because it was really
you. Yeah,
that hard. It was really that hard for me. And so I'm staying at Dorian's house, and he's like living the life. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. He had the cars, the big house, all that, on one of the best teams out there. Everybody knew who he was. I mean, he was living the life. So I mean, I'm
So was
taking
he
all
Michael
this in.
Jordan?
He wasn't Michael Jordan, but he was very, very successful
Yeah.
in what he did. He was like a big body, like football. His dad actually played in the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, and but he was just from right then and there. He was just somebody that I looked up to as a role model,
Yeah.
and all those guys that I practiced with on the national team, all those guys are legends. So he took me under his wing, and so when I first go out there, I had to play in the amateur league because I go out there to play as a local, as a Filipino.
Hmm.
So I go out there, I play in the amateur league, and so now I'm in the amateur league. I'm getting paid some money, but I was getting paid $500 a month.
Oh wow. Okay.
$500 a month, and I remember it equals to 25,000 pesos, Philippine pesos. Man, oh my gosh, it was the team. I'm very thankful for. Um, because I'm still friends with them. They have they run what is it, Toyota.
Okay.
So they have about eight or nine Toyota dealerships out there in the Philippines. The
Hmm.
Open family, super nice people. But I was getting paid $500 a month, and at the time I'm with my she's the girlfriend, she's my wife now, and I'm trying to sell her
On $500 a month.
on $500 a month
Okay.
on living in the Philippines. Like things will get better, I just have to stick through it, And so I didn't really have much money, but at the time she was her family owns check cashing companies here in the States. So she had money, and she flew out there to the Philippines. And at that time, my whole thing was, all right, I got to try to sell it. I have to try to sell the Philippines to her. Like, and man, bro, I'm not even lying. My condo where I was living, I could touch every wall. Like, this is how big my condo was. Just like, I don't know if you guys could see this. You know what I mean? Like right here. This was as big as my condo. You know what I mean? Right here. So when I had to use the restroom, I had to put my legs out here and then use the restroom like that. And it was also the shower.
Yeah.
Man, man, oh my gosh.
You was
It
living
was,
the life.
yeah, man, it was. So, all right, so me knowing how small my condo was, and I had a foam mattress. It ended up being indented like that because I was sleeping on it for too long.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to sell this to her, right? And luckily, my coach's wife worked at a hotel, and they were able to hook me up with like 3 or 4 nights stay. She was only staying for like a week and a half or something like that. So they hooked me up with a hotel stay there in like one of the nicer hotels in Manila. And I mean, I guess I sold it, but she always told me like, look, if we're not going to get married,
Hmm.
I'm not going to the Philippines. Like, I'm not going to move out there. Like, good luck.
Yeah.
So
Which is understandable.
yeah, that's very understandable. I understand where she was coming from.
Yeah.
And at the time, we was already dating for like 5, 6 years. So I ended up proposing to her even before I went out to the Philippines. So I already knew that she was going to come out to the
Yeah,
Philippines.
exactly.
Yeah. So I got drafted that August of 2007. I got drafted to the PBA
Okay.
in 2007. I got drafted #1 pick, and then that December, that's when I flew back to El Paso, Texas, and me and my wife Monica, we got married, and then she moved back to the Philippines with me, and that was all in 2007. Me and my wife, we've been together since 2001 or something like that. So we've
It's
had,
funny. So you had a very similar. So my wife and I met in, I want to say, 03, 04.
okay,
Um, and we're together in '07
oh, okay, yeah,
and
very similar then.
married in 13.
Oh, there you go. See,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
similar.
I
We've
like
been
it.
together for a long time.
Yeah, man.
I've had the pleasure in meeting Ashley. She's a nice person, so
Well, thank you. And
have a beautiful family.
Monica, she's definitely the goal of what I call, again, all my opinions
Hmm.
of a good man is to outpunt their coverage.
There you go.
So
That's her.
if you feel like you're a good man and you outpunch your coverage, then you're winning.
Yes,
You're winning.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you got Monica to agree to live in a matchbox.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was an experience. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did that, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was about just me and her at the time, and
Yeah,
we loved each other unconditionally. So,
that's what matters.
but when she first got to the Philippines, I had already upgraded into a bigger condo. So when she got there, she didn't live in the she just visited me at the time when I was in the amateur league.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just came to visit, and that was the time where we had to stay in the room that was right here with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when we got married, we already got I was renting a 2-bedroom condo at the time, so then it was more
It was
comfortable.
comfortable.
It was still small, but comfortable for me and her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty good then.
All right. So let's fast forward our journey. Um, you're now in the professional league. So how is that journey? What happens within that journey? How do you grow? What are the lessons that you learn before you get to a place where you've won a championship?
All right, so my first year, I get drafted number one pick in the PBA, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure why this team picked me because they had uh, one of their franchise player at the time was we played the same position, and I mean, okay, so they picked me number one, and my rookie year, I felt that the management just didn't really rock with me like that because their franchise player was a local from the Philippines, all that good stuff, and it was almost like I don't want to say we were bumping heads, but again, it was I don't even like to consider myself an alpha or anything like that, but again, I was the number one pick. I'm the next guy that's supposed to,
Exactly.
yeah,
You're
so
supposed to lead the franchise,
yeah, yeah,
but you're not
and
able to lead the franchise because they already have
yes,
a guy supposedly leading.
that's supposed to lead. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this team was not a good team at all.
Okay.
I mean, they had the number one pick for a reason.
Yeah.
So I didn't really play that much. And again, I just had a successful time in the amateur league, got the MVP, did all that good stuff, and then I get drafted number one, and then I come to this team that's like dead last, and then I'm not even playing. There'll be games where I wasn't playing 5-10 minutes. I'm the number one pick, and I'm not really playing. You
Yeah,
know?
you're like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yeah. So at the end of my rookie year, I asked them if they could trade me, and luckily, this is where my everything kind of changed for me. Where there's a coach there, ended up being my coach for the rest of my career. His name's Tim Cohn, and he's the most winningest coach in the history of everything out there. Nobody has ever won anything more than Coach Tim in the Philippines. And I believe his parents were missionaries, and he's American,
Okay.
white coach, like
Yeah.
just moved out there because his parents were missionaries, and so he took me in my second year, and this guy's like, if you think of Phil Jackson,
Yeah.
if you think of Phil Jackson, he's that type of coach. Mental. We ran the triangle, so I mean I know the triangle like the back of the back of my hand,
Yeah.
and all his philosophies. I took all of that stuff that I learned from him to life. He teaches. We listen to John Maxwell. I'm sure you know who John
I
Maxwell.
absolutely know
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Maxwell.
yeah. So
Leadership mastermind.
yes, yeah. So I've listened to him my whole professional career, and I mean he correlates everything, even in marriage. Marriage is also a team.
100%.
You know what I mean? So everything that he teaches, I bring it to my life with my wife. how I treat my kids, how I treat people. John Maxwell is like, he doesn't know, but he's made a huge impact in my life as well, and it's because of Coach Tim and just, I mean, he really just turned my professional career around. So as soon as my second my second year in the PBA, my first conference with this new team and with this coach, we make it to the finals. And it, for me, it's like, oh shoot, I don't know what to do. I'm nervous at the time, and I'm playing all these minutes now. So I go from the previous year of playing 5, 10 minutes or not even playing to I go to this coach. I'm playing 35, 40 minutes a game. We make it to the finals and all that good. So it's like, it's crazy how a person, a coach, or whoever can really make an impact on a person's
100%.
life. You know what I mean? And he just did that. He really impacted my life and just my overall thinking on everything, and just kind of turned everything around for me. So first year to the rest of my career, it not just total flip,
Yeah.
total flip.
I love that. So I love the correlations that you do with your sports career, your sports journey, I like to say, with your family journey as well as life journey, an entrepreneurial journey, is understanding that leadership, me being around you and seeing how you interact and engage with your wife, how you interact and engage with your kids, is really about leadership. And it's what I like is servant leadership, and you're not a hey do this kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really when they can feel that you're coming from a place of kindness, they really receive your message.
Yeah. That's and again, we've known each other for a short amount of time, but it's been an impactful time, right? And again, I feel like you have the same energy as me, is where it's we just need to spread good energy, man. Just great energy. Like, this world needs it right now, and with everything that's going on, and all the negativity, and also as men too, where men tend to kind of keep things bottled in and stuff like that. So we really do need to really uplift each other. And I feel like me and you have the same energy, and we share that.
I think we have the same. We have a shared mission of bringing people together and spreading positive energy. So, I agree with you there.
For sure.
I agree with you there. So now you've got your first championship.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I'll go back. So yes, we do make it to the finals, but we lose.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we lose. All right. I missed free throws. I missed some crazy free throws, back-to-back free throws I missed in the crucial time, fourth quarter, maybe like last 2 minutes of the game.
You shacked it.
Yeah, it was really
Shacked
bad.
it up
Yeah. It was really bad.
Okay.
So we ended up losing. It was a game 7 too. It was in game 7, 2 minutes to go, down 2, missed 2 straight free throws. I'm feeling like the world is like everybody's done with me. Like, I wanted to curl up and just hide for the rest of my life. Like, I will never forget that feeling, of that type of. It was like a different type of failure, because the stakes were so high. The pressure was on me, eyes was on me, and then I just crumbled. I really did. I was nervous, and but again, it helped me grow. It helped me become the 12-time champ. That instance right there. Again, it was like, all right, I'm not gonna let that happen again. I'm gonna grow from it, and I mean, I grew from it. So that first conference we lost. Second conference, I'm not. I don't think we make it to the. I don't. No, you know what? We made it to the finals again, and we lost. It wasn't my fault that time, though. Yeah. And then the third time we made it, that's when I win my first championship. And to win a championship I mean, to win any type of championship is going to be very, very hard. Yeah, it's a big deal. And I've had friends that go out there and they they've never won not one championship, So to say that I've won 12 is pretty. I'm pretty thankful for that, and very blessed to have done something pretty special. So
I love it.
yeah.
Well, we talked about it when we were talking about your daughter, and her singing, and you're like, I don't know if she's gonna get it, but
Yeah.
what I tell you is she has seen a champion. She's seen the work that a champion puts in. So her path is pretty set if she follows what's in front of her.
And especially with my daughter, because for me, it's a little tricky with girls, because I don't I feel like I can't be as hard as I am with her, like I am
you're
with my
with boys?
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me and my wife get into it a lot because of how hard I am on the boys,
I know
especially
that.
my eldest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
Yeah. So, and my daughter's, she's just now getting into volleyball. And I'm like, all right, but do you want to play volleyball, like just to play volleyball? Or do you want to play volleyball to compete?
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to compete, then I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Like I got you. You know what I mean? But again, it's not good.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
you know what I mean. But
shouldn't
if
be
you,
part of it.
yeah,
You
just
want the
leisure.
activity.
Yeah, then hey, go ahead, girl. I'll take you to the park real quick. But I think she's still trying to figure it out too. But I mean, like you said, she does sing, and that's one thing that I don't have a great expertise on there.
Agreed.
But I could sing. Stop. Stop.
Just saying.
We can sing right now. You know what I mean? I got vocal. Well, my
Yeah.
not my
The way
right here
the
hurt.
way your account set up.
Yeah, I can't right now. But you know what I mean? But I do have a passion for music. I have a passion for dance. That was one thing that actually me and my wife. I feel like I fell in love with my wife because of music and dance. Like I'm a pretty good dancer. I get down now a little bit. I'm 6'6", but I get down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I do that, and I feel like she also fell in love with me because you got this 6'6" black dude with big teeth that can smile, like and I'm over here getting down on the dance floor with it. You know what I mean? Right here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what brought her. Like,
Brought us to the party?
yeah, and I got the dance moves, Magic Mike Part 3.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know. No, no, but so yeah, I have a passion for singing and dancing and stuff, but I mean that can only go so far. Like with my daughter, because she also has a passion for singing, but again, I don't know if she has that drive yet. I mean, she's constantly singing and stuff like that, and we put her in classes. But the thing is, and you might know more than me, that stage fright. Like I can't get her to just. I don't want to say sing on command, but if there's people asking to sing, like sweetie, like you have a beautiful voice, like let them like.
Yeah, that's
You
just,
know what I mean?
That's just growth. That's
Yeah.
just growth and being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
This is coming from a guy who's an above average singer.
Yeah. You talking about me?
Definitely not.
Oh.
But I struggled with that in my youth when I first started singing as well. So
Okay.
I've heard her hum under her voice. So she definitely has a great voice. And,
Yeah.
And you don't want to push that. You don't want to get a person who's in their own head about the music or about themselves, because what happens is when you have stage fright, that fright is not of the people. It's about the judgment that you're going to get from the people, not knowing that every single person, no matter what you sound like, there's a reason why, I can't think of the kid's first name, something Hung from American Idol. People, they adore you just because you have I'll say what it is. You had a balls to get on stage
Mm-hmm.
because the majority of people are frightened to do that.
Yeah.
So her fear is that people are judging her. She knows in
Yes.
her heart she can sing,
Yeah.
but she's thinking about people judging her.
She's always
She'll
saying
grow
that.
through that.
Yeah,
She'll
yeah.
grow
She's
through
always
it.
saying judge, like, oh, don't judge me. And then I'm
Yeah,
like, man, you worried about the wrong
that's
thing
it.
right
That's life.
now.
That's
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah. True, true.
We'll work through that.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get on. Let's get on back on this road. So we've got our first couple championships.
Mm-hmm.
When do you start investing in companies? Because I know when you and I spoke, you talked to me about one of your big investments, a big tech company. I think it's Vega,
Vega.
as it's going to be introduced here in the States.
Right,
How did
right.
that start?
All right, so I have a couple business partners in the Philippines, very successful, and they came out with this platform, social media platform in the Philippines called Leica out here. Um, it will be called Vega, and this whole honestly me meeting my business guys, they it just kind of turned something in my head, like, all right, I got to be more than just what I am at that time, or what
Yeah.
I was at that time. And at the time, I mean, I was just a hooper, like, I mean, you can throw in the funny guy, the great husband, great father, whatever it is, but in terms of financially, I was just hooping,
Hmm.
and again, I've always wanted more, and believe me, we lived a great life in the Philippines, like we really, really did. But my whole mindset was, all right, I got to get back to the States. So when I started the truck company, that's what really kind of turned the wheels.
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, like what else can I get into? And my business partners they were the ones that kind of turned like put me on into investing money.
Hmm.
And Vega is a huge project, because we're looking to IPO here in America. So once that happens, uh, I'll probably be done. Like, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna be done. Like, just travel, watch the kids play basketball.
I like it.
Yeah, watch Bella sing and play volleyball. All that good stuff. Like, I'm doing all that, man. Once this IPO. So, but yeah, I'm pretty. I have a few businesses and investments that's mostly based in the Philippines.
Hmm.
But again, I've met through the game of basketball. I've met so many powerful people, important people. Just built great relationships with a lot of people, and these are the things that I feel like has helped me out as a person, as an investor. Is my character, and everything starts from caring. Everything starts from love, and I'm trying to uplift people, and people feel that,
Exactly.
and they're like, I need this guy like a part of us. Like, he makes me feel good, and just from that, and then from there, I've learned, like all kinds of different things, and
Yeah.
it's pretty it's inspiring. It is inspiring, and it gives me more strength and more energy to just keep going, because now me and my wife, we're trying to teach our kids now. We have a 12-year-old, 11, 8, and 6, and we're already trying to teach them, not too much, but already try to teach them what to do with their money, investing, and I mean, my boys, well, my whole family, we love looking at houses, right? So we're on YouTube all the time looking at these crazy houses.
Hmm.
They like to build houses like on the computer and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I mean, they're already ahead. They're more ahead than I was at that time. I mean, when
Yeah.
I was their age, I was just trying to play at the park. I had to come home before the lights get on. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Exactly.
what I was.
He said that's what I was on.
Yeah, that's what I was on. You know what I mean? So, and now I'm teaching. Me and my wife are teaching the kids about investing and what to do with their money and stuff like that. So it's I mean, it means everything to me,
I
you know.
mean, the children definitely are our future.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I would glean from what you said there is if we really break down the business inside the game, and the game being basketball, being football, being entertainment, art, whatever that is valuing genuine
Oh
relationships.
man, that what? That is everything. I really believe this from the bottom of my heart. I got to where I am because of that. Because of that. Because I care, because I value my relationship with people, they're willing to invest in me. They're willing to give me the opportunity. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and to be honest, a lot of times I might not even be deserving of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no,
but
right?
but the fact that I have great character and I reach out to people and I mean all these things, all this stuff matters, and that's also one thing that I'm trying to teach my kids, and I felt like my parents taught me well with that is, you know,
Yep.
be humble,
Be,
and
be, humility is a huge, huge thing. It's a
yes,
huge thing.
yeah,
But one of the things, because you're from the South and my family is from the South, I had to really reprogram myself is you do need to always be humble, but you need to be humbly confident.
yeah.
You need to live in humility, but be confident in whatever skill, whatever talent that you have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what 100%. Because I mean, if you ask my wife, she'll probably say that that I am a little overconfident. But I mean, I don't. Just like what you said, you know, humbly confident.
You should be,
You know, and to
always.
be honest, I've never really heard of that term, and I think that like best
That
describes
is
me,
a
to be honest.
life. That is one of my life core values. Is one of the core values of our company,
Humbly
and
confident.
absolutely.
Yeah, I like
And one
that.
of the things that you said, and I will live in it, is I've been blessed to have a few friends who have looked out on the entrepreneurial journey of all world and Brian Murdoch, who have invested in me time, invested um, financially, where I was not at the place as a leader, as a CEO or president of a company, you know, because we all grow at different rates.
Right.
But you, even if that money does not become what you think it was going to become, it was an investment in you to getting to the next level. Because we, just like
Yes.
you said, your mind had to change when you met your coach. Your mind changed. You had a mind shift. When you met your other coach with John Maxwell, you had another mind shift.
Yeah.
When you met your business partners, you had another mind shift. So everything happens and it gets your mind to grow. I was literally this morning sitting with a young lady that her boyfriend is one of the owners of the 7-Eleven by my house.
Okay.
And we're just talking, and she's talking about a potted plant. And if you have a plant in your home and you tend that plant, if you are doing the right things, if you are pouring into that plant and nurturing that plant, eventually you need to move that plant from one pot to a larger plant. And you have to keep moving it to a larger pot, just like your mind. If you are constantly pouring into your mind, then you're going to have to grow. You have to shift.
Yeah, you
Because
have to.
if you don't, unfortunately, you die.
Yeah, yeah. I love that, Brian.
Hey, man, that's what
Hey,
we're
that was
here
a good
for,
one,
bro.
man. That was a good one, man.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Be like the flower in the pot.
There
Get
it is,
bigger. You
man.
know what I
That
mean?
was not mine, but it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
the
It
lady.
was
That
a
was the lady.
beautiful word this morning.
Yeah, yeah. That was this
Absolutely.
morning.
That was this morning.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell my wife.
man. Yeah. So what's next? What's next for Joe Devance?
All right. So I've played. I played 16 years, 16, 17 years in the PBA in the Philippines, and fortunately, I was able to get into business there. I'm looking to get into business here, but as of right now, to be honest, I gave basketball everything I could, and I was a present dad, still playing and I was active and all that. But from that to what I'm doing now with the kids is I truly grateful for basketball and everything that it's blessed me with. But now I feel like I don't really have any words, like a real dad. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a real dad, and I'm loving every bit of it, every frustration, every like I want to get, oh man, I want to get these kids, like, I want to get, you know what I mean? Like they get on my nerves, man, but I love it, and so I mean, I do think of projects and all right, what's going to be my next invention or something like that. But what really consumes me right now is what's going to be best for the kids? How am I going to get the kids better? What can I do to help them outgrow? And that's really it's been taking my mind and my time. And to be honest, I've never been happier. Like I'm in heaven right now, like just loving the time with the kids, loving the time with, just spending time with family. I've been away for 17 years and I saw my mom and my dad like 4 times already this year.
Yeah.
And the past few years, I haven't seen them before I retired. I haven't seen them in like 3 or 4 years. So
Beautiful.
my mom is, I don't want to, tell a sad story or anything like that, but my mom's about to have heart surgery, and just to have this time with her, is really, really meaningful to me,
Mm-hmm.
So it couldn't have happened at a better time to where I could be there for my mom and all that good stuff. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, Joe, man, I appreciate you again. Where can they find you, our audience?
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, that's my IG, right?
You-
Look, all that's all
look at the
family stuff. Look,
Yes,
man,
yes.
you know what I mean? That last one that I put right there, number 38. That's my number, man. That's my son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got my number. You know what I'm saying? Like that means everything to me. My daughter's super tall like me. My kids out. Look, there go Baron right there. You see Baron right there? That's Baron right there.
That beard?
Yeah, you see it. Look, that's my son right there with the long hair. And then you see me in my snowsuit. Hey man, I was killing it. What's it called?
Tahoe. You were in
Tahoe.
Salt
Oh
Lake,
yeah,
Tahoe.
yeah. I was about to say Salt Lake.
It was
I was
Salt
at
Lake, Tahoe.
late. Man, what? I was
We
killing
all
it
got
out there.
snowed in. Yeah, I
What?
love
Yeah,
it.
we got snowed in together.
Exactly. I
But
love it's a beautiful thing. The biggest thing that I would say is when we look at what you have done, what you have accomplished, your sports accolades are great. And for me, because I always look at things through a different lens than most people, because I've always wanted to be a great dad. I've always wanted to be a great husband. I wanted the things. I had a father who I will tell you was an amazing provider, and he did the best thing that he could do. But there are things that you wish that you would have had when you were young, and I see you with your kids. And so I will tell you, all the accolades are great, but seeing you as a dad is amazing.
oh man, Brian, thank you, man. That really does mean a lot to me. And the thing with that is, with all the stuff that I've been successful with basketball, what will make me successful is if my kids can grow up to be happy, respectful people and just doing what they love. Money doesn't mean anything. It'll be nice, yeah, what everybody loves money, you know what I mean? But money comes and goes. I want them to be respectable, happy people.
There we go.
That's it, and then I will be successful.
There it is.
Yeah.
Joe Devance, man, thanks for coming on
Brian,
the show.
appreciate you,
Keep
man.
killing
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Vega
you very
Gems
much. Thank you.
Coming
Thank
soon
you.
to the United States.
Oh yeah, let's go Vega. Let's go.